Pentecost Sunday, Tab family. We pray you're blessed and doing well, as always. Speaking of well-being, as we know, yesterday was what? Our Kingdom Living Mental Health and Wellness Fair. We had lots of vendors, participants, speakers, panelists, and a whole lot of attendees. Listen, we want you to hear from them firsthand about how everything went, and also want to encourage you to make sure you stay tuned to connect anytime we have these type of opportunities.
I am so grateful. I am so thankful. First of all, for our pastor for having the vision, for all of the volunteers and counselors and vendors who gave up a Saturday on a rainy day. I'm just so grateful that, people are being helped. And that's what we want in congregational care. And it's more than Tabernacle Baptist Church. It's the community at large. And the village came out today.
I was one of the panelists for the panel, and I also completed a presentation on emotional intelligence and boundary setting. The behaviors, a lot of the times we see acting out, we see isolating, we see people who are pretty much angry. We see the symptoms of those larger issues. But behavior is the symptom, it's not the problem. You have to go back and trace where the dysfunction began, because chances are if you can trace it, you can unlearn it.
Yeah, so trauma is really interesting. What we don't always recognize is that, we store trauma in our body, literally, like there are, pockets of trauma stored in our body, and the body never forgets. And so sometimes we'll notice, like we're on a particular day, I've had clients come to therapy and they're like, I just been off this week. I haven't, been feeling good, and, I just been, feeling off. And then we'll get to talking, and what we learn is that the anniversary of a traumatic event happened that past week. So cognitively, they were not aware of it. But their body was like, hey, May 11, I remember when, because it remembers and it stored that information or what have you.
So most of the challenges a lot of the high schoolers were facing really was about self-identity. They were struggling in dealing with the racial undertones in their schools, trying to fit in, learning about code switching and how uncomfortable that dynamic is, at home versus at school. So it was more so a lot of conversation about them finding themselves, figuring out how to kind of self-identify, figuring out their non-negotiables, the things that they're not going to put up with, and the change or dynamic that they want to make for themselves in the future.
Well, we worked with some young men, and we wanted to talk to them about influence and influencers and things like that, but we decided to take the route of being influencers, or basically setting out a discussion where we talked about those things that make us follow them or make us want to be like, asking questions like, what do you want to be? Who are you? That kind of thing.
We see the person that you want to be like, but what did it take for them to become that person? And that same thing that they had to do, you'll have to do also. And we also took the opportunity to talk about not being afraid to fail. So, which causes anxiety, because you want to be something, but then you're afraid you're going to fail. What we talked about, instead of titling or labeling it as failure, let's go, sometimes we win, sometimes we learn.
Healing comes in the community. We have to come together and say, have some honest conversation, or sometimes we got to have the hard conversations. And that removing all the veneers and the eyelashes and all that kind of fake phony stuff, and just say, listen, I need to talk to my friends. I need those who love me to hear me and to help me heal.
Tab family, can you please help me thank Reverend Dr. Wanda Richardson, who is over our congregational care team, our medical ministry, our staff, our volunteers, and especially our pastor for the vision of each year coming together to have these mental health fairs. We know how important it is, and we hope that you've been blessed by what everyone has shared with you today. And make sure that if you find yourself in need of assistance and support, you reach out. It is okay to get help. Keep rolling with us. We've got more information to share with you, of course, as we get ready to wind down our Family and Mental Wellness Month. Make sure you also meet us next week for Kingdom Living Weekend. As always, thank you so much for worshiping with us here at Tabernacle Baptist Church, a local church making a global impact.